It's been let me just rotate the phone like this. Yeah. I hope everyone is having a great one. Um I just wanted to speak more about, what I've been doing for these couple of months. It is it's been a very busy year, as you guys know. Um so as you all know, I'm a property practitioner at Finance Titan. I'm also a podcaster. Yeah, you guys know that, right? Yeah, so I'm a business podcaster. As you guys know, I don't shoot anything if it's not, if it's not insightful, if I don't provide insightful information. Yeah, so my most important factor to me is for you guys and all my clients, to understand the world of finance, the world of property, right? And also, man, like the world of business. You know what I mean? So honestly, there's so much information I want to talk about today, right? First things first, guys. This podcast or this episode is probably, proudly sponsored by, What's Best for Business. As you know, that I have a podcast channel here on YouTube. It's called What's Best for Business, right? And that's where, I drop all the insightful information. That's where I invite all the pioneers from all around this country, to inspire you guys, to educate you guys, and obviously to give you guys, content that's way beyond, obviously, the brackets of brainwash, I could say. Right, let me just close the door. Um, yeah, thank you so much for that. So, honestly, man, okay, so today's, I'm not in a formal setting, so I have so much stuff that I want to talk about. First of all, this is a property channel. I'll be speaking more about my listings. So first things first, man. Let me just go here. So let me just type this. Boom. Okay. Okay. Just 2 seconds. So I want to speak more about investment properties, fuel station deals, land sites, property development. And also, I also made it to a very, very, very luxurious and highly inspiring podcast, man. All the way from UK, with Glenn, which obviously I'll drop the link when it's out there. So it's probably right now in the process to be, edited and stuff like that. So it was really fun, to be invited to speak with a global audience. You know what I mean, and represent this country with property. You know what I mean. It's really fun because you guys know. I mean, I love property. I can't see myself doing anything else, with my life right now. Other than, of course, being there for you guys and providing you all this information. So I have this 5.5 million rent luxury slash investment property, right? So this property is situated in Fontainebleau. Okay. Initially I listed it at 5.8 million, because due to the rental income it creates, the large opportunity that it has, in terms of, obviously, the number of bedrooms, the specs, the length and size of the property. I mean, it's sitting at over 1,784 square meters, right? It has 11 streams of income, guys. So it has, all in all, 11 bedrooms inside. It has 7 bathrooms. It has 11 parking bays, and obviously there's, so the ERF size, obviously the under roof size is just under 800 square meters, right? So this property, it generates around 70,000 rands per month. It's immense. And obviously I want to speak more, about how to inquire, or how to acquire these properties, right? Because first things first, people, do not understand that in South Africa you can kind of acquire property with a minimum of 10%, asking price. If not 10%, with nothing at all, if you have a good credit score, and of course, I mean, if you have a good credit score and then you are willing to invest in a property portfolio, I can help you do that. Okay, I can help you do that. How? Because as you know, I partner with Discovery Bank, Discovery, I could say. So now we do everything, and including your property, investment portfolios, and obviously your bond cover, and of course, buying property through bond in South Africa, right? We do all of that. As we know, as you guys know, real estate practitioners, we work with bond originators already. Uber home loans, da da da, better bonds. Yes, I do understand. However, this is a partnership thing with Discovery that I've taken to also assist my team at Discovery to secure all these clients out there, right? Including clients that want to buy through bonds. Okay. So now let me just speak more about this property that I want to speak that I've been speaking about. So this property is good for Airbnb or backpack accommodation, a retirement village, a rehab center. It could be used as a preschool. It could be used as obviously a lockable. Actually, it's great for rental income, I could say, right? It has a swimming pool that is over 12 meters. It is fully leased, fully equipped, and of course, it's fully outdated. I think you guys, this one has a little bit of vintage to it. Um, so obviously, oh, hi, Makosa Nanzimande. It's so nice to meet you on the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I promise you there's so much more in store. Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, like as I was saying, so there's so much more of these property investments that I have, okay, on my portfolio. So one which I was speaking about is the one in Fontainebleau that makes or generates around 70,000 rents per month. If you guys want to view that property, you can just let me know, but I'll put the link of that property on the description, right? So as soon as I'm done, I'll add all the links so you can just go and check it out, okay? For all the real estate practitioners and probably the professional people out there looking for stuff like this for their clients, it's still fine. I'm open to negotiate, and yeah, well, I'm good at we can negotiate your referral commission and stuff like that. Okay, so number two, I have vast fuel station listings, right, all over this country. Some from Durban, some from the Western Cape, some from literally all over this country. So if anyone out there is looking for fuel stations to invest in, I'm the perfect person to speak to. Game reserves. If you're looking to invest in a game reserve, I'm one of the people you can speak to, right? So currently, I've also partnered with a Chinese company that processes chrome mines. I mean, chrome minerals. It's a chrome mining or chrome processing plantation. So that is also for sale. I'll speak more about that one later. So currently, I just wanted to let you guys know that the South African market is wide open for property buyers. Okay, as you have seen, immediately when I joined real estate, the borrowing rates were around 14 point something. Actually, we're at close to 15%, right? Which now have dropped immensely. They're about 10% now when you want to buy property, right? So that shows immense, opportunity for everyone out there that's looking to buy property, right? Number two, you don't have to starve yourself with buying property cash, man. That's something. I mean, if you have the power to do it and you have the funds to do it, of course you can. But however, my advice to you, if is if you want to acquire property the right way, the best way possible, you can always contact me, and you don't have to spill all your money into it. Because let's say you buy all your property cash, what's going to happen at the if anything goes wrong? You understand what's going to happen if anything goes wrong? You understand? So it's stuff like that that you have to take into consideration. You know what I mean? So if you don't have that 10% asking price, contact me. We'll get you property just like that. If you have good credit score and obviously you earn very well. Okay, because in South Africa, the minimum bond is around 3,000 rands per month. 3,000 rands per month. So now you see everyone out there can actually own property. You know what I mean? With commercial spaces, you need a minimum of 30% asking price when you want to buy an office space, or when you want to invest in a, warehousing, and just a, a corporate space and stuff like that. But I'll get deeper and deeper into that. So I'll also speak more about property development. So with residential property, you guys already know I've spoken about, the 10% asking price. I've spoken about the intensity of giving me a full description when you want to buy property, because it's very important. You're going to be spending a whole lifetime, if not, a long time staying in that property. So you have to make sure that it suits your needs, and it also accommodates the person that you are, right? Yeah, so you need to make sure that you give me a full description about exactly what you want. Location is important because actually price range and location determine the specs, the features, and of course the functionality of your home. You understand? Number two, let me just dwell into commercial spaces. This is my most favorite one out of them all, because with commercial spaces, man, you could always make tons and tons of money. How? First of all, when you buy a commercial space, it's either you buy a building that has tenants in it, right? So you can buy a building that has at least, let's say, 20 units on it. And then there's obviously 20 tenants on it, right? Yeah, on that building, right? So now, number one, you always have to make, let's say, a minimum of 35% return on investment slash net operating income, right? So let's say your mortgage on one apartment is around 3,000, right? That you have to pay to the bank. So that's obviously 3 times 20, right? So when you make your lease agreements, you can charge a minimum of 8,000 rands, per unit. So that's 8 times 20. The rest of the month, that's your operating income. You only take those 3,000 rands times 20 to the bank. You can make the calculations. So you see, I'm just trying to show you the intensity and the momentum that all these commercial spaces make, and why you should be investing in them. Because number one, there is ways where you can get 100% funding from the bank when you want to buy commercial spaces. You don't even have to have 30% asking price. Just you having, a game plan, you having a better understanding of this commercial industry, and also having, this is true. Everyone knows that you have to have credit score for you to acquire stuff, through, in terms of creative financing, and through, loans and stuff like that, because obviously the bank wants to make sure that you'll be able to pay it back, right? So if you do not have your good credit score or whatnot, I feel like first thing you could do is you just have to create a nice business plan, right? Go see a commercial space or contact me. We'll just go through commercial spaces that we have, obviously depending on the city you want to be, the location, everything. And then from that, we do a property valuation, just so we can understand how much specifically net operating income you're going to be creating from that space. And then obviously we submit that to the banks, including Discovery. You understand? Because number one, Discovery is the biggest, banking institution in South Africa right now, because it's not a finance or an insurance thing. It's more about serving people. We're serving people here. You understand? You are the most, important aspect of our business. You understand? That is why we take into consideration all the people that we work with. You understand? So, number two, if you want to create a property investment portfolio, Discovery is the best place to go to. You understand? Why? Because number one, Discovery is there from day one. It holds your hand and everything. You have your own you have your own financial advisor. You don't even have to pay them a single cent. It's your financial advisor. You understand? So basically, anything you need, under the financial perspective, they're always the first person you can speak to. You understand? We're not quite sure with business loans. We don't do that. We don't do business loans. However, we do take, yes, Discovery. That's correct. Discovery Bank. So we don't do your business loans and all of that. We do your home loans, your car funding, yeah, all of those important stuff, except for business loans, except for that, right? So now, when I speak more about Discovery, is I just love, highlighting the fact that we out there helping people. You understand? Number two, man. So first things first, from your bank account, whenever you get funds, there's funds that are taken from, as I don't know if those are for their services or whatnot, but with Discovery, only 1 rand is, gets deducted. When I can send you 10,000 right now, 10,000 rands, they'll only deduct 1 rand. You know, that's the most like can you just check those prices up. And number two, obviously when you want to start a business, or when you want to create a business plan but don't know exactly how to go about it, you can always contact your financial advisor, which will be allocated upon opening a bank account with them, right? We have investment accounts, we have car insurance, we have home insurance, we have life insurance. For only 200 rands, you get covered for 2 million. 2 million rands for only 200 rands, guys. Guys, you understand? So it's really it's intense. So now, coming back to real estate, I'm just gonna dabble into both of them. You know what I mean? Because I mean, come on, it's So now, coming back to real estate, guys, the most important thing you need to understand when buying property is that buying property is important because you have ownership. You understand? And even if there comes a time where you can't afford to stay in that place, right? You can always get rental income from it, right? Junior can assist you in getting a nice tenant that could potentially even finish your bond. Because let me just show you how property investors make money, guys, in South Africa. So they buy property through bond, you know, and then within the first maybe 3 months, 4 months while staying there, they do their upgrades, put the geysers on, because solar geysers much more, it's cheaper, guys. I mean, it's free energy. You understand? I'd advise you to put a solar geyser on, but obviously you have the option to operate it via electricity, right? In case it's a cold day or a winter day or stuff like that. Invest in having a nice detailed home, a nice architectural home. Those little things that count. So your mortgage on the bank, let's say it's around 8,000 rands per month, right? I can get you a tenant that could pay at least 16,000 per month, right? Whereby literally half of that money, which is whereby like 8,000 rands go to you as rental income, right? And then 8,000 rands goes to the bank. Under a lease agreement, you can keep that tenant for as much as you need them there. And obviously your tenant at this point is paying your bonds, right? At this point. So you literally if and obviously now South Africa, in terms of bonds, you can start from a minimum of 5 years to 30 years, but preferably I can do 10 years when buying property, because that's a bit, I think that's it's moderate. You understand? Yeah. So you can just keep your tenant there for like the first 6 years or 7 years, and then you can pay off 3 years of your property. You understand? Done. You understand? So you basically didn't even spend that much when buying that property. And number two, you used your brains. Listen here, I've seen there's lots and lots and lots of people that are doing what I'm telling you, right? You don't have to rent, property. Number one, you don't have ownership. If anything happens, the Mustang can just kick you out. We call them Abo Mustang, the gas. You understand? But obviously, your landlords can just kick you out because they're having difficulties of their own, right? And now they need someone they could take that out on. So you could basically potentially be a victim of that, right? And you don't want that. So when owning property, number one, own it, it gives you ownership, it gives you entitlement. Number two. Number three, it's a source of income. It's not only doesn't only provide you shelter. Property is a source of income. People are getting financially free out there because of investing in property, right? And number four, right? When you're a South African, you don't have to buy property, with you don't even have to put like 70% deposit or 50% or whatnot. You can only put 10%, then the rest, will be covered by the banks. And then you have the responsibility to pay that property. If not, you can just put a tenant and collect rental income. That's it, right? Number two, what you need to understand is that you have every single right to grow as a human being. You know what I mean? You have the right to kind of achieve your goals. Everyone out there is entitled to themselves, and I'm gonna tell you something. Life really can change for everyone. It's not a thing of you need to be this specific race, or you need to have, this specific job, or this specific, kind of lifestyle for you to, generate the life you want to live, right? With property, that is achievable for everyone, guys. Because number one, as I said, we have Discovery Bank that can assist you with that, right? I am here. I can assist you with that. I have bond originators all over this country. If you wanna invest in buying property in Cape Town, you can speak to me. Durban, anywhere, Eastern Cape, anywhere, you can speak to me. I have people all around this country that are here to help you. You understand? So I want to speak more about development projects now. Let me just switch the topic of the conversation to a bit further here. So when buying or investing in development projects, this is one of the best things you need to understand. A development project is cheaper when they're still building it than when obviously when it's the final product, right? So when buying investment development project, you need to understand one thing. Sometimes the minimum it'll come out as 800,000 rands, when they're still building it. But then after they're building it, the value of the property just skyrockets. So from 800,000 rand, now you have the value of your property is around 1.2 million, 1.3. So that on its own is return on investment. You know what I mean? Sorry about, you know what I mean? So at some point, if you would like to sell your property, you've already made a little bit of profit from it. You understand? And number two, when buying development projects, think of it like this: you have a structured community. So you've already have a structured community with its own malls and its own kind of way of doing things around within that community. So it's also one of the best ways of buying property because but this one is not for people who are rushing to move in. As you can't just buy a property in a development project and you move in the same day or the same month or anything like that. It takes time. It takes around 5 to 8 months to move in into a development project property. That is why when you move in, the property, the price of your property is way high now. You know what I mean, in terms of property valuation. And at some point, when you want to sell it, it could be one of the best times to do so because the project is finished, right? And people are moving in, right? So you could have easily bought that for 750,000 and easily sell it for 1.2 million. You understand? In a matter of 2, 3 months. Invest in another one just like that, right? And number two, the bonds of property developments are always cheap, man. They start from a minimum of 6,000 rands per month. You understand? So, and you get the most out of everything because number one, you need to think of it like this. These people, development projects are modern structures, modern interior and exterior designs. They're contemporary, and they're also its functionality is very good because some of them have at least like 3 bedrooms. You have like 2 bathrooms and stuff like that. It's highly effective, right? It's juiced up, I can say, right? So you need to start thinking buying and ownership instead of renting. You understand? And number two, I want to speak more in depth you know about checking out the importance of location when you buy property. You understand? Because location it also determines the value of your property. If you buy property at the wrong location, you won't really make that much money when you try to resell. And obviously, peace of mind. It's important to have, to buy property in a location that will accommodate the person that you are. You understand? You don't want to buy property as a chilled person and buy property where, there's a loud, or there's a groove right opposite, stuff like it's really good. I mean, it's recreational, but it's not something that we want as people with peace of mind. You understand? So, guys, one more thing that I want you guys to know is that do not be afraid to inquire. Do not be afraid to view properties. Contact us as real estate agents. No, I'd like to view this. Sometimes, we'll get upset really because you set an appointment, you didn't even sign an offer. But you being here, you setting up a viewing appointment and actually viewing property gives you motivation. And I would love to kind of motivate everyone out there. You understand? I would love you to see the property of your dreams, think about it, and envision yourself living in there and changing your whole entire life. But at the end of the day, you have a goal to work on. So you're gonna take that home and work on that until you contact me again and view this property. But this time you're gonna put an offer, right? Isn't that exciting? So it's very important, guys, to trust on yourself and imagine a world beyond possibilities. You understand? Because one thing you guys need to understand is that it is possible for you guys to own property in this country. It is possible, and it isn't determined by race or anything like that. You understand? Number three, like as I said, as I discussed, the interest rates now do allow you to come and buy property through creative financing because they've decreased to the point where you're not paying immense amounts of mortgage rates. You understand? Now it's actually affordable for everyone. Literally, even for someone who works at PEP or Pig and Pay, now they can afford to buy property, through bond. You understand? Number four, I want to speak more into the fuel station industries, guys. I can't stress this enough. As you know, I've been marketing fuel stations all over this country. Number one, it was in Philip. So my first project with filling stations was in Philip Nail Park, right? So there was this Total Energies garage, man. It has so much potential. It has so much. It had it's sold now. That's why I keep on saying it had, right? So it had four businesses actually. The rental income on its own was around 3.2 million rands. So imagine it like this: you have a fuel station and you have a chance to manage it. So under management, you get your obviously your monthly paycheck as a manager of the place, plus your rental income, which things like these make around 5 million rands, 3 million rands, 3.4 million rands, sometimes 8, 10 million rands in rental income. You understand? So I feel like much majority of us, especially as black people, we need to start investing in property so that we need to start owning our property back, our land back. We need to, and then one of the few things, in owning our lands back, obviously, is through property. You understand? Number four, if you have a problem with any one of your tenants, as a property owner, if you have some kind of problem with your tenants, um, I think it's a thing of number one, you have to kind of do your due diligence when putting your tenants in as a rental income collector, because now this is one of the first things we do when we bring in tenants to you, right? We kind of evaluate how much these people make. We evaluate the standoff, which the financials on how the capability of them, if actually being able to afford that place. Because number one, these people, some of them have cars, some of them have children, school fees. It's a lot. So they know the only funds aren't only subjected to paying your rent or anything like this. So it's important to evaluate all those things, that after they pay all of their debts, how much are they left with to pay your property? You understand? So it's some of the things that we need to take care of. So we do that as well. We check out, exactly what they're looking for, and if your property sparks the mark, you got it, right? So one thing we also do is lease agreements. Lease agreements are important because you can keep your tenant for some time there, and they can literally pay off your property. It's really fun you don't have to pay like 100% of you can just put a tenant, they can just pay off your property, and then when the time comes, they're gone. You come back to me, I serve your tenant, I give them another one which they can lease from anyway. You understand? So, guys, it's important to reach out to real estate agents because we understand the market. You understand? We know exactly the perks, the disappointments, the disadvantages, the ups and downs of buying property. And number three, it's daunting. I understand. Buying property is the most beautiful yet daunting experience you'll ever kind of experience out there because it's highly intense. It's your dreams versus reality. You understand? You have to sometimes we don't negotiate with buyers. We do negotiate with buyers, but buyers do not know that. So they come there, willing to pay the full amount and everything like that, which is crazy, right? Which is, yeah, I do understand you guys have lots of money, but you don't have to pay all your money into buying property. Number four, I want to speak more about listing property. I would like to list your property. Why? Because number one, as I said, I understand the real estate market. I have a database of buyers constantly calling me. I have my own clients that buy property only from me. You understand? Including property investors, of course, people who collect rental income, make return on investment and net operating incomes. Those are my people. I have business pioneers that constantly contact me all the time, looking for business or looking for property opportunities. So I'm one of the first and few people you can actually speak to in Gauteng when you want to list your property. Number three, I take into accountability what you've done with the property. I take into accountability, into how much you've invested and how much time you've put into that property. You understand? So it's important for me. Your dreams are important to me. Your goals are important to me as a property owner and as a property seller. They're very important because they help me also analyze, what you want to get out of your property and obviously what you've put into the property to obviously have a state of mind of what you want to get out, right? And number four, I can't stress enough the importance of maintaining a nice property because at some point you're gonna want to sell it, and then obviously when you sell it, you're gonna want to sell it at the right price possible. And for you to get the right price possible, you're gonna have to have a nice clean property, right? Yeah. So I wanna also go back to discovery because I want you guys to understand this. So as I said, Discovery is one of the few banks out there that has all these umbrellas under one organization, right? Because we're a people bank. You know what I mean? We're there to serve you guys. We literally here to serve you guys. So if you need anything, if you need, even if it's just a quote, you can just contact me. I'll give you a quote. My partner's name is Mitasha Naidu. You can go on Google now and search Mitasha Naidu. You'll find her, right? So that's my partner. That's who I work with at Discovery, right? So if you need help with any of your financial your financial problems, or you need immense financial solutions, you can always contact me today. Because why? We have the best solutions for you right there at Discovery, right? Number two, it's not only a bank, as I said, we don't only, it's not only a bank account that we serve. We serve vast, things like your home insurance, life insurance, car insurance, your life cover, and all of that. And we're one of the cheapest, rates out there because you can get up to 2 million rand life cover with only 200 rands. You know what I mean? And it goes really high. It goes way high. Like for 500 rands, you can get more. For 1,005, you can get way more, right? So it's really interesting, and I love doing this because I love actually bringing you guys all the insightful information out there because as you know, social media is now cluttered with information that we don't need. Yeah, it's nice to see all these. I don't want to dwell into that, but it's yeah. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes the stuff as human beings, we need to evolve, right? And then investing in the best in the best information out there, and the best and kind of insightful knowledge is really good for you as a human being, because we are built to, we're kind of wired to grow, and we're wired to evolve ourselves as people, right? It's really important. So number three, going back to this investment property that I was speaking about, it is worth over, it's well over 7 million rands in terms of worth, right? I listed it at 5.8 million rands because of, obviously, when I took note into the interior design and exterior design of the property. It's vintage, right? And obviously it's 2025. You guys want more modern property. You want something luxurious. You want an architectural feature and all of that. So I took account into all of those. But one thing that made me stick into a good amount of, money when listing this property is the fact that it creates a grand amount of rental income. As I said, around 70,000 rands per month, right? So all you have to do, you can buy this property through creative financing and collect 70,000 rands per month, which obviously 20% or 30% you take to the bank, the rest you keep to yourself. So just think about it. You don't even have to look for tenants. You don't have to look for anything. You buy this property, it already has tenants. It's already furnished. It's already equipped. It's already, generating money from the first day. All you have to do is just keep going with it. You understand? All you just have to do is keep cashing it, money from it, and obviously submitting the 20%, the 30% to the bank. You get to keep 60. You get to keep 70% to 80% return on net operating income of that place, right? So it has 11 bedrooms, it has 7 bathrooms, it has one. Actually, it has 2 lounges. It has yeah, so one dining room, one lounge. Yeah, covered that. It has 11 parking bays. It is pet friendly. It has a laundry room. It has a pool. It has a patio. It has a security post. It has staff quarters. It has a study. It has a garden. What more do you want? You understand? So, guys, I'll drop the link of this property down below so you guys can check it out. The bond calculator says that the monthly repayment of this property is around 54,000 if you didn't make no deposit. But let's say you made 10% deposit. What will the monthly repayment be? Let me just check that out for you guys. Just go to the repayment calculator here. So the deposit is 10%, right? So 10% of 5.5 million is how much? It's 550,000, right? So it's 550,000. Uh, just calculate this for you guys. Just trying to- So we're trying to find out exactly what the repayment will be, right? If you put in 10%. So your repayment will be 50,000 rands. It's 5,000 rand less. Okay. Let's see for how many years. Years. Okay, cool. So you'll have to literally pay 50,000 rents per month, right? And your rental income is around 20,000. So your net operating income is 20,000 per month on this one, right? But it could go more depending obviously on your what's this? Depending of course on your deposit. Because if you put a good amount of deposit, you're probably gonna deposit less in terms of repayments. Probably gonna deposit around 30,000 in repayments, and then you get to keep 50,000, right? Or yeah, yeah. So it's really nice, guys. It's really nice. So now I wanna, if there's anything you guys would like to speak about, you can just drop a comment right here, and I'm listening. I'll be able to answer each and every one of those questions. Keep the questions coming, because we are about 10 minutes, or yeah, we're about 10 minutes to close the show. So if you have any questions, just drop drop it via the comment section, and I'll be able to answer that. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Right. Good. So one more thing, guys. Do not be afraid to make inquiries, as I said. Do not be afraid to make inquiries. And if you'd like to switch to discovery, comment switch on the comment section, and then I'll help you. Me and my partner Mitasha will help you switch to Discovery Bank, and of course, we'll make sure that you get the best out of our service, and we're here for you guys in anything you need. Number two, you don't have to struggle writing business plans on your own. You don't have to struggle with your bank charges anymore. You don't have to struggle with your student loans and all of that. You don't have to struggle or with that. We have vitality as well. You get rewarding for treating yourself well, and you get rewarded obviously for your gym. you know you get 75% off in flights. You get 75% in shopping. You get 75% off in buying petrol. 75% off in bus rides. Yo, it's a really good bank, guys. So if you really wanna connect, just let me know, and then we'll proceed. Okay, from Junior, this was great. See you again. I think tomorrow with another live episode. Yeah, cheers.